What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new Premium DNA Earthworm Gym action figure. This was another figure I was interested in getting when I first saw this at the New York Toy Fair last year. This is the same company that made that Banjo and Kazooie figure that I reviewed back in January, I think. But I was excited to see this because Earthworm Gym was a game I played a lot on the Sega Genesis. I used to own a couple of the toys from Playmates when I was a kid. So this is going to be really cool to add this to the collection. But starting off with the packaging, you can see, of course, we got Gym right here. Then we got Groovy. And then you can see the Premium DNA logo right here. And then the Interplay logo right there. The top just has the logo right there, and that's the bottom. The side, the logo again, and you can actually see Jim right there, and then it's the same way on this side, but Jim is doing a different pose right there, and then the back is pretty much the same right there. But this is actually a slip cover, so if I remove this as so, it does reveal the figure. So look at that. As you can see, we get pretty much an open window of the figure and then all the accessories right there. You can see Jim, Earthworm Jim with snot, and then there's the top. And then here's this side right here, so you can see Jim. And we actually get a description right here, which is really cool. So you got that. And then here's this side right here, which shows the other figures that you can collect. Actually, put this up a little bit. Yeah, so that's cool. And then the back just shows everything that's included here. Okay, so here's the figure out of the packaging right here, starting off with the head sculpt. I really do like this, actually. I think they did a pretty good job capturing Jim right here, especially the way how they did this eye right here. That actually looks really good. I really do like this this head sculpt right here for Jim. A lot of them are actually pretty good. They did a really good job with the head sculpts here, and you can see, like, of course, the lines here painted, so that actually looks really good. And here's just the back right there. See, there's like a little bit of shading to the back of the head. So yeah, not too bad right here. The way how Jim's attire is, there's not a lot going on. As you can see, a lot of it is pretty much bare white plastic, and then of course the blue with the gloves, and then the straps. Really, the proportions doesn't seem too bad on this figure either. You can see that they did a pretty good job trying to capture like the build here of like Jim. So you can see like how massive the biceps are, the how broad the chest is here. You can see a little bit of like the belly button right there, and then like the ribs here to the side and the abs. Like, they do got some muscle definition on this guy, and I think they did a pretty good job, especially the way how massive the shoulders is. So yeah, not too bad. And then of course you got like his skinny legs here. The paint job is okay in some spots, but there is like a little bit of blue coming from the white here, especially where the arms is. I don't know if you'll be able to really see that because of the lights and then it being white plastic, but there is like a little bit of blue coming from the arms here, and a little bit with the torso too, which is kind of weird actually. And it's actually on the backpack too. Okay, now let's go over the accessories. So you do get interchangeable head sculpts. So here is this one right here, and this is the one that I was talking about that does have the white paint on the top lip right there. So I'm gonna have to acetone that off, which I ran out of, so I'm gonna have to buy more of that stuff. But other than that, this head sculpt actually looks pretty good. I think they did a really good job capturing the way how Jim is. So yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Now, there's a huge problem that I ran into. So you have this head sculpt right here. This is actually the default head sculpt that's going to be on the figure once you take it out. But those hands, the fisted hands, those will be the default hands once you take the figure out of the packaging. The problem is that when I was trying to interchange the head sculpt, this actually was stuck onto the figure, this ball peg. So when I tried to move the head, it actually snapped, and I had to heat it up because the ball peg was stuck in the figure. So I popped that out and I had to super glue this. So yeah, so I definitely recommend heating up the heads first because you don't want this to happen to you. So yeah, you're definitely going to be doing some surgery with this guy because with the you know, the paint being all over the place, so you're gonna have to acetone that off and heating up some parts. Definitely recommend doing that because you don't want this to happen. So I am still gonna take the photos with this on the figure, but I thought I would let you know about that one. We do get interchangeable hands, so we pretty much just get open hands right here, just open hands really. And then of course you get these hands right here, and these are pretty much for him to hold his blaster. And of course we do get the blaster right here. Kind of wish they painted the inside though. And then we do get the snot, so you just get a regular snot. No articulation with this thing though, just a regular snot figure. And this is where the backpack comes into play, because you could take this off and then they give you this right here where the snot is coming from the backpack, so it looks like that, see. And then you get this one right here, which is actually pretty cool, where the snot is shooting up. So let me put the camera a little bit back to show this off. But you know, you just peg this you know, into the figure, and then look at that. So you got the snot kind of shooting up. And I wonder if, oh, never mind. Okay, I thought this was gonna be a bit back heavy, but no, it's fine. So that's cool. I like it though. That's kind of cool right there. So yeah, you can interchange the stuff right here for the backpack. So I'm just gonna put this back on. But yeah, that's all of your accessories. And there's actually I think there's like an accessory pack where you can get like multiple heads, which I think I'm probably gonna grab, honestly. I don't know. I like these head sculpts that they give you, but you know, because Gem is so expressive, it kind of makes me want to get the others, to be honest with you. Alright, and now for the articulation. So I'm going to be a little bit more careful this time with the head, but again, there is a ball peg for the head, so you can move the head all the way around, you know, wherever you want. So, you know, any tilts you want right there. Of course, you can rotate the head. You know, it does move a little tightly though when you rotate the head, but I want to be really cautious. But it does move around pretty freely. You know, it can look up, probably about there, looking down. It does move down a little bit better though. For the shoulders, so you know, the arms can move back and forth. You do get a hinge to the shoulder, which, okay, so it goes high about there, which actually isn't too bad. I did put the blaster on his hand this time, but it does, you know, move that much right there, so that's not too bad. I actually have to heat up this bicep, but you do get a bicep swivel with this figure, so you get that right there. We are double jointed with the elbows, so you get that much range right there. And I forgot to mention that the wrist to hold the blaster, there is actually a vertical hinge. So the other interchangeable hands is a horizontal hinge, but with the blaster you do get a vertical hinge. Now the torso is something I'm not too sure about. I did heat up the torso, but the range for it isn't really the best. So I can get it to crunch back a little bit, you know, just about that much, but then it seems like it's non-existent for it to go forward. Like I really can't get it to go forward. It can go to the side a little bit, and there's not really anything going up the waist, so when you want to rotate the torso you have to use, oh wait, did I, oh okay, so there is a rotation to the waist. Okay, so there is a rotation to the waist. All right then. I was trying to figure out why that wasn't moving, but yeah, so I mean you can rotate the top part just a little bit, but never mind, there's actually a rotation to the waist right there. So all right then, I'm glad I figured that out. Now for the hips, let's see how they are. We can kick forward probably just about here. It looks like it doesn't really want to seem to go up any more than that. And then just to kick back, not so much, just about there. And can't really kick out to the side because the holster's in the way. So using this leg, probably just about there. And then we do have a thigh swivel, so you can rotate at the thigh. And then we are double jointed with the knees. You get that much range right there out of the knees, so not so much. And then for the ankles, they go far back about there. They go far back really well, and then far forward Doesn't really seem to go up anymore. But then we do have our ankle rocker right there. And yeah, that's pretty much the articulation for Earthworm Jim. Yeah, the torso definitely, or I guess I would say the waist twist caught me by surprise. I honestly didn't see that one. It's kind of weird that they didn't move the first time. But yeah, that's the articulation. Not so bad. I mean, the range is there in some areas, but everything else is pretty good. The top torso though, not a lot you can really do there. It does have flaws. The paint tends to chip off. I've been noticing that actually with the interchangeable hands, but you are going to see some paint smudges in some spots, and I think the figure does look pretty awesome, and I really do like the accessory that they give you. So here's a comparison right here. I have the Earthworm Jim figure next to the Premium DNA Banjo figure. Now this caught me off guard because for whatever reason I just assumed that Jim was going to be the same size as this Banjo figure. Again, I'm new to this company, so I just assumed all of their figures was going to be like this size really. But he's actually not. He's smaller. So I don't know why they made Banjo this big. And I think all of their other figures are small too, like their Care Bears, and I think they're Battletoads too, and I don't remember what else I've seen there. I know they're doing Clay Fighter, which is another game I liked on the Sega Genesis, but yeah, I just assumed that Jim was going to be this size, which is why I only just grabbed Jim. So now I'm kind of thinking, oh, maybe I want to get the other characters now, since I now know that he's like in that 1/12 scale, compared to the Banjo figure, which I don't really know why they did this scale, but I'm curious on if they're going to make another one in just a shorter scale now, because I really do like Banjo-Kazooie, and even if they made other characters I would have gotten them, but they only did Banjo and Kazooie. And speaking of Kazooie, I got Kazooie right here, but you can see, like, yeah, they're just way too big. And now it's like, well, if the Earthworm Jim figures are going to be like, this small, now I want to get the other characters now, because I just assumed Jim was going to be this big and then the other characters was going to be like super size or whatever, but they're not. So yeah, like, Banjo just completely towers over Earthworm Jim right here. So now for some more comparisons, I'm going to compare him to a Marvel Legends figure. So here is that new Marvel Legends Wolverine figure that just came out pretty recently. I just got this in yesterday, and it's pretty cool. I really do like this figure, but you can see, like, it does work with your Marvel Legends, because these two, they're not even like that far apart in scale. So yeah, like, this can still work. I think this is actually really cool right here. So yeah, and I like both of these figures too, by the way, so that's cool. I'll use some Jada toys. So here's the Jada Toys Chester Cheetah figure. So Earthworm Jim is actually tall.